planning that we haven't done for months and months and months. And I think this goes back to what Laurie said way, way, way back. Can we dedicate Tuesdays to strategic planning? And I think if we do that, we work through this document. I think Councilor Russell, I think the first thing you have to do is accept this document as real. Is this the final document, or is it still a draft? Once it's a final document, we should be dedicating every Tuesday to ensuring that this is a dynamic document that's doing what we want it to do, and we're meeting its goals. We're meeting its and adding initiatives, and maybe taking some away and doing whatever. So if the goals are what we want for this term of council, then we should say, this is our final document, these are the goals we want, this is the strategic action, but some of the initiatives may change. Some of them we may achieve, some of them we may take away, whatever. But I think that's the frustration that I feel, that I'm feeling, is that we've been asking for strategic planning, and we keep putting it up, and then we get into a day like this, and we start scrambling, and we're 1 hour into it. I don't know what we've accomplished, but it's very frustrating. I think we need to have structured meetings around this document, and this is our final document.
But we don't know that yet, because we haven't had the document.
Can I just?
Councillor Underwood, then Councillor Russell.
If I may, let's look at economic development. If everybody remembers, we went through A through H because the most important was A, that we decided as council, and the least important was H, as we decided in council as we went down. So, economic development. Let's look at that for a second. The first one, A1. National Shores will continue to attract employment opportunities to ensure prosperity and employment for residents and businesses, promoting the municipality's high quality of life as an economic advantage. I suggest in the strategic action, we had look at the implement an economic development committee, and on the initiatives was we formed an economic task force for recommendations of the formation of an economic development committee. So you have an economic development committee that is able to give you some feedback for proactive decisions versus we're doing very reactive stuff right now. Everything we're doing seems to be most important, most urgent in that little matrix there, and we're making decisions on the fly. So that's what we decided to do that. They might be able to help us out with some more stuff. And then going down for the economic development, looking at the other things, yeah, you're right, actually, discourage development of quarries and major land transportation. Well, I don't remember saying that either, but it's something we need to look at, and then we can fill things in our initiatives to meet our strategic actions. We don't have to wait for the committee to do everything for us, but it's another avenue for us to look at information. We can either decide to put it under the initiative or under the strategic action.
Councillor Russell.
Well, we asked for the strategic section to try to fit in, so I had the open one, so we couldn't just pull out of there.
Well, I guess on one hand, we're asking, is this the document that we play with? Or do we do what Martin's suggesting, that we add another line into the strategic and another line into the initiative to add more things into it?
Well, no, I mean just not more blocks. Just
No, I'm not saying more
Yeah.
blocks, I'm just saying you're adding more strategic action into the
because it's
and another initiative.
living document.
So they're not included now. Is this something that we're going to do, is to add more into it as we go along, or do we make, as Doug said, do we suggest this is the document and then we just make amendments to it as we go along?
Well, absolutely. So, yeah, one more time.
I'll be there.
You can.
Councillor Underwood.
Block A is our 20-year plan. This is our long-term vision. The block A's are our long-term vision. Our strategic actions are medium-term visions to try and get us there. And our initiatives are what we do now to feed into our strategic actions to get back to our major goals. Tasks are the initiatives, all right? Strategic are your tactical ways to go forward, and the goals are really our strategic direction. Our strategic long-term, 20 years. And this is what, so they should, if we have to change them every year, we haven't done a good exercise in the first place. So they shouldn't change that much over 20 years. Okay,
Councillor Ron.
I guess what we need to ask ourselves is, and more for the budget process than anything, these initiatives are going to be budget driven. So if we agree with the goals and we agree with the strategic actions, then the initiatives that flow have to be budget driven, and these are the concrete guys that we have to deal with to prepare these guys to prepare a budget to say, these are our priorities, these are the areas we'd like to see, and how much is it gonna cost, and then those are the decisions we make. I don't think it's rocket science, but we're just running around here like turkeys with our heads cut off.
It's probably a different.
Well, that was yesterday.
I was Thanksgiving, that was a good analogy. I just wish we get to goals, and if we agree on these and make it a final document, then we can start moving on it.
So we can agree, do we?
Counselor Russell.
I apologize, Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I really, you know.
I'm just
I
trying to
very
get-
rarely, very rarely,
Okay.
I apologize. I'd just like to ask these two, and I think they did a great job here. When I went through this and I went back to 2000, what was the last move? '88? Okay. My feeling was, is you guys had done this, right, in a way. You know, you hadn't ignored 2008 by any means, right? But you didn't write it all back down because we'd established a new thing. But we came from 2008 in terms of we built upon it. We had all the wide discussions. We didn't change things a whole bunch, did we? Like, I don't see that. What I see is that let's agree. I think Councilor Monasteel's right. I personally think we've gone a long way down the road. Maybe we have to go and review these again and look at these goals again. That's fine. But let's start having meetings on this to continue on, because we are getting lost in doorknobs, as I say, details. The fact of the matter is, these things here would be things that go on your thing, what I call work plan, you call initiatives. These would be budgetable items. And if we don't take these directions from resolution of council, we can talk airy-fairy until we're blue in the face. These are directions of council. These have been passed. These are resolutions, then backed up by bylaw. So I think in the end, let's accept this so that we can get on with the things, so that we can move it to concrete, which then, this is already October. I did hear at the last council meeting, Mr. Mayor, it was talked about, I think, by my colleague right beside me, that we have to get our something together. What word did you use? I know what word I like to use right now. There you go, act together. For the purposes of doing it in a more timely manner, I think is the term you use, right? And I think that's what we need, to give the better direction, that it isn't all just stuff up in the air. There's a heck of a lot of resolutions up in the air right there.
Counselor Owens.
Yeah.
It's like it comes back to, do we support these goals? Do we support these strategic actions? And then we have to say to staff, take that long list and look at the initiatives and slide them in. And maybe some need to go in and some do not. And then we look at it again. Are we happy with this or aren't we? We're not gonna do that here at this meeting. I mean, that's why we have these folks here.
Well, that's right.
Senator Meredith.
Well, I think we did a very good job of brainstorming about what the fundamentals of the strategic plan should be. I think we have clarity about where we're going there. But I don't think we have ourselves clarity about what the strategic actions we want to take are. Like, for example, I don't think we've had a discussion to say, do we want to maximize pedestrian use in downtown development opportunities? Is that our strategic? Or are we going to encourage green technology or whatever? Because I would really like to, as a suggestion, just say to you, things that I would like to see as a major strategic goal is to encourage one major new processing business in Lambton Shores while we're in office. And I'd also like to suggest that we, as an economic development, that we work towards significant debt reduction while we're in office. And another one would be to establish ourselves as a sustainable community. Take things like that. They might not be yours. You might have other suggestions, but those kind of things I can be very loyal to, because I think they're very reasonable objectives. But these other things, I can't take any ownership over them because they're not what I consider our objectives. So I'd like us to, I think we should have that discussion. What do we corporately think our strategic action should be in order to meet our economic development or environment or community spirit? What are the big picture things we can accomplish in 2 years?
Counselor Owens.
Well, just to comment on what Elizabeth just said, when you talk about sustainability, if we look through the environmental section of this document, there's a whole lot of stuff around making us